Welcome to Signal Post Daily, your human-curated, AI-delivered tech and AI news briefing. Episode 5 for Saturday, October 25th, 2025.
Oh, it's Gaming Saturday. You know I love my games. What are we diving into today?
You know what? Today's going to be a fun one. For Saturdays, we're keeping it light, keeping it upbeat, talking games across every platform. PC, console, handheld, even some tabletop stuff when it matters. And honestly, we've got some really solid news to unpack.
All right, I'm here for it. So what's the headline?
Well, let's kick things off with Battlefield 6. It just launched, and remember how everyone was nervous about this? EA's been in some rough waters lately, with the news about going private in about a year. So there was real anxiety around this release.
Right. EA's had some trust issues with the community. What happened with this one?
Actually, some really good news. The game debuted at the top of the sales charts in markets like France, and the community's been surprisingly positive about it. People are praising how smoothly it runs, even on older hardware. That's actually a big deal.
Wait, EA listened? They made a game that doesn't require you to buy a new graphics card just to play it?
I know. It sounds too good to be true. But yeah, reports show Battlefield 6 is running well on older systems, and the community's genuinely giving them credit for that change of course. There are some lingering issues, obviously. No game's perfect on day one. But the overall reception has been way more positive than people expected.
So what kind of older hardware are we talking? Like, can someone with a 5-year-old PC actually play this?
The feedback suggests it's pretty accessible. We're seeing people with mid-range setups reporting solid performance, which honestly used to be controversial for EA. Remember when they were pushing everyone toward ultra-high-end specs?
Yeah, that was annoying. But I'm also curious. This is good news short-term, but does it mean anything for the game's longevity? Are people going to stick around, or are they just going to bounce when the next big shooter launches?
That's the real question. Launch momentum is one thing. Retention is totally different. But the fact that they nailed the technical side from day one is at least a solid foundation. If they keep supporting it well and don't completely botch the live service stuff, they've got a real shot.
That's actually refreshing to hear. Though, I gotta push back on something. We're what, a week in? Do we really know if this momentum holds, or are we seeing the honeymoon phase?
Fair question. That's absolutely fair. We're still in that launch window glow. But here's the thing. Strong sales numbers and positive word of mouth this early is still a win. Whether it stays that way depends on how EA handles updates and, doesn't nickel and dime players with the monetization stuff.
So it's a so far so good situation. Got it.
Exactly. But let's move on, because we've got some space game news, and this one's actually exciting.
Oh, space games. One of my faves. What landed?
Obsidian Entertainment dropped The Outer Worlds 2, and the reviews are genuinely positive. Critics are praising the story and how refined the gameplay feels. This matters because, honestly, we've had a rough couple years with space game launches.
Yeah, space games have been, hit or miss lately. What's different about this one?
Well, reviewers are saying it feels more polished than the first game. Better quest design, better pacing. Some critics note it might be a bit flawed, or maybe not groundbreaking, but there's a consensus that it's a solid, fun experience. And in a genre that's been starving for good releases, that matters.
But here's what bugs me. You said better than the first and solid. That sounds like it's good, but is it great? Are people going to be talking about this in 6 months, or is it just a nice distraction?
That's actually a really fair critique. I think the word is refined more than revolutionary. It's not going to shock the world, but it's a well-executed space RPG when those have been hard to come by. For fans of the franchise, it's exactly what they wanted.
All right, I'll take it. What's next?
Okay, this one's a pretty massive story. Microsoft and Halo Studios just announced Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a full remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved campaign.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me they're remaking the game that basically launched the Xbox?
Yep. And here's the kicker. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and, for the first time in franchise history, PlayStation 5.
Halo on PlayStation? That's... I mean, that's huge. What does that even mean for the franchise?
Right? This is genuinely significant. For decades, Halo was the exclusive reason a lot of people bought Xbox. Now Microsoft's putting it on your PS5. The remake's scheduled for 2026, and it's campaign only, no multiplayer. But this signals a real shift in Microsoft's strategy.
But wait, if Halo's going multi-platform, doesn't that undercut the Xbox's whole value proposition? Like, what's the point of buying an Xbox if the flagship franchise is everywhere?
You know, that's exactly the question people are asking, and honestly, I don't have a crystal clear answer. I think Microsoft's betting big on Game Pass and ecosystem lock-in rather than hardware exclusivity. Halo on PS5 gets the game in front of millions of new players, which could actually drive more people into the Xbox ecosystem long-term.
Or it could just make PlayStation owners happy and they never touch an Xbox. Hard to say.
It's totally fair to be skeptical. This is uncharted territory for the franchise. The release window is 2026, so we've got time to see how this plays out. But yeah, this is a seismic shift.
What about the fact that it's campaign only? Does that bother you? Like, the original Halo's multiplayer was half the appeal, right?
Oh, absolutely. Halo's multiplayer defined Xbox Live for a generation. So yeah, leaving that out is definitely an interesting choice. But I think what they're doing is focusing this remake on the single-player experience and perfecting that. If it's fantastic, people will want more, and maybe that opens the door to multiplayer later.
So it's like a test run. Let's see if PS5 players care about Halo's story, and then we figure out the next move.
Exactly. And honestly, the original campaign still holds up. Revisiting that on modern hardware with updated graphics and mechanics could be genuinely exciting for new players who never got to experience it.
Okay, so we've got strong sales, good reviews, and platform expansion. What else we got?
Well, perfect timing, since we're still riding that Halloween energy. We're hearing rumors that Capcom might be working on a Resident Evil 0 remake.
Another Resident Evil remake? Are we getting one of those every year now?
I mean, kind of. But hear me out. The rumors are coming from a casting leak where an actor's resume allegedly referenced a project with a codename linked to Resident Evil 0. So it's not confirmed, it's not official, but the internet sleuths are connecting the dots.
Hold on. You're basing this on a resume snippet? That's pretty thin. How credible is this actually?
Fair skepticism. It is speculation at this point, but here's why people are taking it seriously. Capcom's been successfully remaking classic Resident Evil games. RE2 and RE3 remakes were really well received. So if they're working on RE0, which is a 2002 prequel that hasn't gotten that modernization treatment, it makes strategic sense.
But we don't actually know anything yet. This could be completely wrong.
100% could be. But the horror community's excited about the possibility. RE0 has a devoted fan base, and a modernized version could be a huge deal for that group, especially with how strong Resident Evil's been in recent years.
What's the timeline on this if it is real? Are we talking about years away?
The rumors suggest it could be a few years out, so we're not looking at an imminent release or anything. But it gives Capcom and fans time to anticipate it, you know? The company's got a pretty packed slate, so if they're working on this, it's probably not a priority until they finish their other projects.
Fair point. So basically, we know nothing, but horror fans should stay tuned. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where we'll probably get official confirmation or denial sometime next year at a gaming event. Until then, it's just speculation and wishful thinking.
All right, well, if it happens, I'm here for it. Horror games are fantastic.
And that's our Saturday gaming rundown. We've got a really solid lineup this weekend with launches and announcements, keeping things interesting. Whether you're into competitive shooters, space RPGs, iconic remakes, or creepy horror games, there's something here for everyone.
Thanks for keeping us in the game loop, John. See what I did there? What do we have coming up next week?
Ha! I see you, Jess. Tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to kick off the calendar week with more of a high-level dive into AI topics. Don't worry, it's still the weekend and we'll keep it interesting. We want to bring you something every day of the week. And for the weekends, we're going to get away from the normal news and try some different things to fit your weekend vibe.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. Hit us up at feedback@signalpostdaily.com. We'd love to connect.
Thank you, friends, for listening to Signal Post Daily. We hope you're having a great weekend.
Bye-bye.